Are you feeling lost? Well, you've come to the right place.
Welcome to Lostish, where we,
Rose Chachko
and Emmanuella Rose,
share what it's really like navigating your 20s.
we're two semi-lost girls figuring out careers, relationships, wellness, purpose, and everything in between.
Each week we dive into the highs, the lows, and lessons of chasing your dreams, finding happiness, and learning to embrace the uncertainty.
We're not here to pretend like we've got it all together.
We're simply just figuring it out with you.
Hey guys,
Our favourite people, again.
our Lostish podcast audience.
Crew. We still haven't come up with a name. We're so sorry.
No, we haven't. But that's okay because we are back for another amazing episode. Well, hopefully it's amazing because I feel like
They're all amazing.
they're all amazing. Yeah, yeah, you reaffirm yourself, Emmanuella.
Yeah, so we've got a great episode for you guys today. Well, we think at least. Because New Year's is around the corner, so we decided to do a little, I mean, haven't you seen it on every podcast, like a New Year's reset? How to just kind of deal with the new year coming up and kind of the panic that comes with it in
Absolutely.
your 20s specifically. I feel like when you're older, it's not really a big
And
deal.
dealing with
But-
reflecting back
Yeah.
on your whole year of things that, you
Yeah.
know, maybe there are things that you wanted to achieve but you weren't able to, and that's caused a level of anxiety for you. I know I can definitely relate to that. But I think it's really important to talk about because it's something that everybody can relate to, and we kind of want to share, I guess, our advice and our perspective on how to kind of start fresh. I have already started fresh and I changed my hair, guys.
Yes, I was about to say it, guys, and for those of you watching on YouTube, Rose got a haircut.
I got a haircut. I got bangs
Sorry.
as well. Sorry, that
Wasn't a fart. That was me moving
that
the
was
couch.
the couch. Yeah, I got a haircut, a big chop. It's almost like a lob. Yeah, so for those of you watching, I'm rocking the new hair. But yeah, and I honestly, like Emmanuella said, you know, it looks great, but you look so different. And I'm like, I feel different, and I'm kind of excited to step into this like new version of myself. I feel a bit more confident, and let's see what the new year brings.
So yeah, I'm actually so excited for the new year. There's so much exciting stuff that I just feel coming.
I'm so nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
See the difference? Like
I'm so nervous for the new year. Because I'm a very like structured person. Like I need a plan, right? And next year for me is the first year where I have no plan. Like, you know, I went from 13 years of schooling straight into drama school for a year, studied for a year, had my routine set. Then from drama school went to university. 4 years of university. I submitted my very last assignment today. Woo! Hallelujah.
episode coming on that soon.
Yes. And now I'm like, what now? This is like
Yeah.
insane to me. Next year I have no idea what I'm going to do.
See, but that to me, because I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm done uni just yet, but that's a whole other situation. But I'll be done in a couple months. And I'm in the exact same boat. But that thought to me is like thrilling.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yes, I don't know where I'm going to be. And I love it. Like, I love not knowing that I've got this dooming like 9 to 5 on my, on my mind. And this constant like pressure. There's no pressure. The world's our oyster.
I think, and that's interesting that you say that. There's no pressure, which kind of puts pressure, if that makes sense.
It does.
Because it's like, oh my God, like the world is literally my oyster and that's amazing, but like where do I even start? And then you have external influences asking like, okay, so when I get asked this question and I get asked this, honestly, maybe twice a day, I'm not even over exaggerating, whether it's friends, family members. When are you getting a full-time job?
Yeah.
What are you doing next year? What are your plans next year? Have you booked any acting roles? I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea, guys. I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, let alone in 2 months' time. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's such an exciting thing to think about. But yeah, I think it's very easy when a new year rolls around to just fall back into this mindset of, oh, I didn't achieve the things I wanted to achieve, or what Rose was talking about, feeling anxious going into the new year. But we're here just to pipe that down a little bit for you. And I'm very much like, when we were talking about what kind of stuff we want to talk about in this episode, like reflection for me and reframing is a big thing. So for me, for example, celebrating little wins, even if they're not the biggest things, celebrating small wins, things that might be overlooked on a day-to-day basis. Do you know how many times I've gone to bed recently and I've like sat there and I've prayed and been like, thank you that I had nothing serious to worry about in my life today. Like, I don't care if all I did was went to work, came home, saw a friend, came back to work, went to bed. I did that probably 300 days of the 365 days of the year, and I was just so thankful for it.
It's interesting.
Like those little wins. Like, thankfully, I'm so, you know that TikTok trend where it's like, I'm so grateful that, and then they like post things that are so mundane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so blessed that my biggest problem was that they didn't have, you know, chicken in the grocery store. I'm so blessed that my biggest problem was that I was stuck in traffic. That is such a, like, seriously, like, just because, don't automatically put yourself, I think this ties into what we were talking about in our like looking for the positives in life in a lot of episodes. But
because we are so addictive to thinking about the negative.
Yeah.
And literally just, sorry, I know I interrupted you, but I'm going to forget if I don't say it, is we stress when we don't have anything to stress about.
Yeah.
And that's, and
it's
like,
such a lucky position to be in.
It's weird because it's like we literally cause, and we are programmed to, I guess, we are programmed to complain, we are programmed to look at the problems because, you know, it's in the caveman age, it was like survival, right? We are here to survive. We are in fight or flight or freeze. We learned this
in our degree as well, remember the negative spiral, how like, why does the news never say anything that positive? Why is it all negative focused?
Because
that's
we are
how
addicted. We're addicted to negative information. We are addicted to thinking negatively. Even if you know, see yourself as quite a positive person. I think we both see ourselves as quite positive people, but it's still that addiction to the negative. I stress out when I have nothing to stress about because I have nothing to stress about. Does that make sense? I'm like, oh my God, wait, this is really weird. I'm at peace. I have no worries.
Like, this can't be right. Like, this is too good to be true.
Yeah. And that's where I feel like I guess where I'm at now is I have no plans and it's stressing me out, but my life is peaceful. Like, I have nothing to worry about, let alone I'm creating these worries for myself. And that is something that I really want to work on and relinquish that control, because I think that's the number one thing is when we're moving into the next year, something I want to do is release all control, right? Because you can control yourself, but you can't control anyone or anything else.
Or any other circumstance,
Correct.
I was going to roll off of that because that was really good.
Stressing about stressing, not
stressing about stressing, I was just going to say, like, obviously we talk about this all the time, how we are in such a fortunate position because we're always going to have a roof over our head, hopefully, touch wood. You know, a lot of people don't get to experience that. Food that we like, just food, friends, a roof over our head, like having just that, everything else you can work on. So if you're in a position and you're listening to this thinking, the new year's rolling around, I have all these resolutions, I feel like I've done nothing this year, just tone it back a little bit and try and reframe it and think, let me celebrate the small wins, let me not be anxious. If you are in a fortunate position like us and the world is literally your oyster and you don't know where your life is taking you, this is what the podcast is about. Like, don't stress about it too much.
It's easier said than done though. And like you said, it is an exciting time too. And I think I'm trying to reframe it for myself. For those of you that can relate to me, I'm really trying to reframe it for myself in the sense of saying what you said about it's actually exciting because you genuinely don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know what the next 2 minutes bring. We worry and worry and worry so much about things in our life that are so minuscule in compared to the bigger picture, right? And it's like it's a waste of time. It really, really is a waste of time. And time is a sacred thing. And it just goes to show, I mean, this year has just flown. Genuinely
it's actually
flown.
Crazy.
And I think about the people that I've met, the connections that I've made, the growth that I've done. And I think this year for me personally has been a really big growth year.
Describe your year in 3 words
and
I'll do the same.
Okay. Can growth be one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, growth. Challenge and feminine. And when I say feminine, like me stepping into my divine feminine is what I'm saying.
I would say unexpected. There's so many unexpected things that have happened this
true.
year.
That's a good one.
I would say fulfilling. I've been very fulfilled this year and grateful. I would honestly say I'm grateful for everything. I feel so fulfilled, and there were so many curveballs that have been thrown, but in such a good way. In my life this year. And you know what? I think I spoke about this I'm kind of going to throw a little tip in here for everyone. I spoke about this in, honestly, probably the first or second episode that we filmed about my diary. Do you remember that diary that I have where every year I write one day? I pick a day, whatever day. I'm telling you guys, that time is coming back around because I actually don't think I've done it this year. But I will pick a really random day, and I'll wake up one day and be like, today's the day where I'm writing in my diary. And I've had this diary since 2016, and every single year I've opened it up and I've written 3 or 4 pages in that day of how my year's gone so far. And every time I write the latest one, I go back and read the one before to see how much my life has changed.
I love that.
Holy moly. Like, I always say to myself, I just wish like all the other pages were written so I can see what my life would look like, because every time without fail, I'm not even joking. Just choked there a little bit. I will go back and read. Emotional. I'll go back and read the previous one and be like, "What? I'm in shock. Like, this didn't happen. This didn't happen. This didn't happen. That happened. That happened. And what the heck that happened? Like, crazy." I just think it's also just such a nice memory to have.
When it comes to reflection, that's the epitome of reflection.
Exactly. And it genuinely doesn't take that much time.
No.
And it's just such a nice thing to have to look back on. Imagine when I'm, hopefully I make it till I'm old and grey and I have all that to look back on.
Yeah,
it's just
beautiful.
like all my most important moments dumped into a few pages of the year, and it doesn't take that much time at all.
Can I also suggest something as well?
Yeah.
I started doing this, and I've kind of slacked off the last few years, but I remember what I used to do is I would write a letter to my future self.
Oh, yeah.
For example, like at the beginning of the year, I would write a letter to my future self at the end of that same year. So, dear Rose, it's the end of 2025. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And then I would give myself some advice for the year ahead, right? Then at the end of the year, you write your past self a letter from the start of the year. Dear Rose, it was so lovely to see you grow. You overcame this challenge and this challenge and this
you thought
challenge.
This would happen.
And you thought this, exactly.
But something happened better.
It is so beautiful. I actually get emotional. And then you read both and you're like, oh my God, the difference, but also the similarities.
In attitude, in perspective, in what's similar, what's different.
Yes.
And it's
a beautiful thing.
Such
and it's
a nice
personal.
memory.
It's personal.
Yeah.
And you actually, that's the way that I kind of sit back and reflect, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have grown so much, and I actually have achieved so much.
I kind of want to do that for 5 years ahead.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I think I will actually, because wow, that's actually really cute. Yeah, I love stocking memories like that, and I think it's also such a good reflection. Because I've always said as well, I want to journal every single day. Guys, sometimes life gets caught up and it doesn't happen. These are low effort things that genuinely mean so much, that allow you to indulge in full reflection. You'll be able to see how much of a difference and how many unexpected things can genuinely happen in 1 year, that it's it puts things into perspective.
And start small, even if you're not a big journaler or you don't want to physically sit down and write everything out. Write it in your notes on your phone while you're on the bus on your way to work.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've reflected my notes all the time, and then I read back and I'm like, oh my God, this is what I was feeling. Or it's so wild. And I think just as important as it is to reflect, it's important to release as well. You don't want to carry the baggage of, if you have experienced a lot of hardship and things that you're trying to let go of. I think it's a really, really beautiful thing to write a list of things that you want to release, right?
And burn it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Burn it.
Yes.
Burn that shit. That trend where people would write things on a plate and then smash them on the ground?
I've done that.
Have you?
Yep. After my breakup, I did that.
I've never done that, but
It's
I feel like it would
so
be like going to a
healing.
smash room.
I'm like, yes, it is so healing. Like, honestly, do that. Write it all, burn it. I've done that before. When I was in Bali, we did a release ritual. And it was like we sat by a fire, we wrote down our manifestations on one side, and then the things that we wanted to release on the other side, we would read it out loud and throw it into the fire. We were all in tears by the end of it. It was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Gather around with your mates, with your boys, with your girls, whoever, and do that, because honestly, it was so therapeutic and healing, and you just feel so much lighter. And that's not saying that things aren't going to come up again, but it's a subconscious reminder for yourself that you're not taking the shit that you don't want to take into the next year. There is a stigma that, oh my God, new year, new me, la la la. That's beyond unrealistic. It lasts 3
weeks.
It lasts 3 weeks, maybe even 3 days. I'm like, oh, new year, new me, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to make my bed every day.
I'm going to become
go
vegan.
To the gym 5 days a week.
No.
Happen.
Unrealistic as fuck. Unrealistic as fuck.
And I just think people should genuinely, and that could be what some people stick to, especially guys. I know guys stick to this stuff a lot more. A lot of the less mindset, more material, like, I don't know how else to explain it, but like the gym, their food, their discipline, all that kind of stuff, guys tend to stick to longer, and that tends to be what their goals are for the year. So if you're a guy and that's what your resolutions look like, pop off, as they should. For girls, I feel like we're a lot more emotional, and it's important, again, like what Rose said, to not carry your past into the new year, because a new year, even though technically speaking you're going to from December 31st to the 1st of Jan, nothing's actually changing.
It's a day, mate.
It's literally the difference between day and night.
Yeah,
just like any other day. So I actually think that you should be looking to better yourself every single day. But let's be honest, when a new year comes around, or during the year, might I say, you're always like, oh well, I've got the rest of the year, I've got another month, I've got another 2 months. January 1st hits and you're like, whoa, okay, I actually didn't do as much as I wanted. I actually didn't, experience the growth that I wanted to, or whatever it may be.
The change starts when you want it to start.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of, like, it's great that people see the new year as that time. Like, it's great that we have that.
But why put it off till tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Just start now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're talking about, again, like, we're saying this as people who do fall into those traps of, okay, it's the new year, new me, this is what I'm going to do. But at the same time, I think we are pretty good at taking our own advice to an extent, and it's healing. So try and, say to yourself, and again, we say this as not having to be big changes. So when we say start today, we're not talking about go to the gym 5 days a week, unless that's what your goal is. We're talking about little changes, whatever. Even if you're not listening to this when the new year is around and you're listening to this in the middle of July, take this as your sign to be like, okay, today is the day where all these things that I said I'd put off for a couple months because I had so much time, you actually don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Can I just say that book you bought me when I had gone on my cruise last year, 101 Essays That Changed the Way You Think by Brianna Weiss, I think that's her name. She had a line in there, and it was the first line I ever highlighted in the book.
Yeah.
And it was an essay, it's 101 essays in the book, and she had a line in that book, and it was an essay on 10 misconceptions people have in their 20s. I think it was something like that.
Oh, that's a great chapter. Juicy
and
chapter.
It was this line that said, stop thinking you will live past your 20s. And I went, oh my, you're joking.
Stop
was like,
thinking you will live past your 20s.
Does that not throw you for a curveball?
No,
I read it, and I was like,
now, the power of today.
I was like, do not say that to me.
Oh my
please.
God, that's mad.
No, it actually, like, I highlighted that so quick.
Yeah, people think, oh my God, like, we have our 20s to live our life in YOLO. Mate,
you don't know what tomorrow will
might explode tomorrow.
Brianna's right.
Yeah, she's so right.
What if you don't live past your 20s? What if you don't live past next year? Touch wood. I hope we all live till we're old and grey. But there's that kind of that difference of, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. Let me start putting in the effort now to make sure that I don't die with any regrets, because you actually don't know.
It's really interesting you say that, because I went for a coffee the other day with a friend, and we were saying things to each other, like, about things that we want to better improve, or, and he was telling me about this book called The Power of Now.
My mum's read it. She loves it.
It's great. It's great. And and how genuinely we are so caught up in the future. I'm going to change in the future
and in the past, but not now.
But not now.
Yeah.
But now is all you have.
Yeah.
You don't have the future. You don't. You don't have the past.
The
you already
past
had the
is
past.
gone. The future's not.
The past
not the future. Oh.
is in the past. You have all you have is now.
Yeah.
And he was saying and I asked him a question. I said, so what do you want to change right now? And he goes, right now, in this very moment, my focus is to be more kind, is to lead with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at him and I was like, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. He goes, I'm trying to be more kind to myself, more kind to you in this moment, more kind to the people around me, to the waiter that's bringing our coffee.
Yeah.
He has that control and he goes, this is the person that I want to be and that I know who I am deep down. It was beautiful. Power of now.
Guys,
change
is
now.
Not promised. The past is in the past. You have now. So, yeah. Anyways, let's move into some more tangible tips because I have a couple things that I like to do at the end of every year or at the beginning of the next year. Which kind of helped me, and for a lot of people in their 20s, like some people, I'll just give my financial tip as well because I think that's not something we really speak about on the pod, but me and you are pretty good at budgeting and not living to work. No, not living to work, but working to live, not living for the weekend. We're pretty good at balance, like we spoke about in a couple episodes ago. But one thing that I have done since I started at beginning of 2022, and this has been really good for resolutions for the year or goals is to get better at saving money because it's a big problem in your 20s. I found that my first issue when that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that was one of my goals back in 2022, I was like, okay, before I start putting numbers to this, I actually just want to gain a bit of perspective on how much I'm actually spending. So for that year only, I tracked every single one of my expenses. And it sounds harder than it actually is. But for me, I literally I'm one of those people that's just tap, 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 tap everywhere I go. You lose track of it. Things happen. And I'd go back about once a month and go back on my banking app and just write down everything in a book, every single thing that I've spent, total it for the month, and then move on to the next month. And then I do that month's total plus the total of everything I've spent from the previous months as well. And then at the end, I
sounds
end
like
up
such an effort.
It does, but it literally doesn't take that long. Like where I know, like subconsciously now, because I've been doing it for so long, on the 31st of every month, I'll be like, oh, the month's up, and then it takes 5 minutes. I'll spend 5 minutes scrolling back on my app going, okay, I spent $40.40 on that day. Yep. $100.20 on this day. Yep. And then I'll tally it up. And at the end of the year, when I tell you that first year, I was hit with a fat reality check of how much money I was actually spending.
Wow.
And this was without my travels because I don't track my travels. For me, travels have a different bank account because that's just something else I prioritize. But when I talk about saving, I'm talking about longer term savings, things like, a house or a car or a laptop or something bigger. Oh my goodness, the amount that this just put things into perspective for me. And then I was able to set goals and be like, okay, well, if I was spending X amount tapping without thinking twice, let me try and, eat a little bit more at home. It'll benefit my health as well. Let me try and, balance this or balance that. Anyway, I just think tracking, and I've gotten so many people onto this, it just puts everything into so much perspective. And I think that's really cool. That's what it's about. I think it's just a good tip for anyone in their 20s, especially if you're, in those stages where you don't get paid, or even if you do get paid the same amount. I don't know where I was going with that because this is about spending. But, I track my ins and outs, and it's just a good habit. It's a good habit for when life does get a bit more serious and you do have all of these, bills and big girl and big boy income coming in and all these things. You don't want to be that person who is left behind. No one is saying, don't be balanced and live the way you want to live. But it just, for me, it was just a big perspective and reality check.
And that's really good that you say that because I think that also goes into the fact for me to say to people, have your head on your shoulders. When it comes to money and budgeting, you can look at people and people can be setting the absolute wrong example, your mates, spending hundreds and hundreds of bucks every weekend on beers at the club. Yeah. But you know how much money you could be saving if you were to actually have your head on your shoulders and think to yourself, okay, I want a beer, I'll have a drink. Yep, one or two. Yeah. Or maybe budget and and don't do that for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to compromise.
Exactly.
But
And
you
don't
don't
feel bad about
understand. No, don't feel bad about it at all. But you don't understand how much money you are saving. I don't drink a lot personally, but when I go out with my friends, a lot of them are like, buying drinks left, right, and center. Great, you do what you want to do. And I'm just there. I'm also quite a lightweight, so it does the job. But I also think to myself, I'm like, but babe, you've gotten 20 drinks, and I know you don't have a lot of money.
And
Let's slow down.
You're doing that, but you've pretty much spending everything you've just earned.
Yes.
And on top of that, you're going to have to get an $100 Uber home.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
everything
$100.
adds up. We're not
Sounds
just talking
expensive,
about
Uber.
nights out, but for example, one thing that I put into perspective when I did my first year's worth of money counting, or whatever you want to call it, I didn't realize how much money I was even just spending on food. Nowadays,
Food's
I
a
don't
big
know
one.
where you guys are all listening from, but majority of our listeners are in Australia, and you guys know to get a simple meal, any meal out is an average of $25.
Totally.
An average. You do that one meal a day, 4 times a week, that's $100. If you've got rent to pay, if you've got this to pay, that to pay, a car payment, your car registration, your uni fees, your this, your that, like things add up. And then you wonder how people end up getting left behind, all living paycheck to paycheck so that they can get their release on the weekend.
Meal prep, guys.
Oh, it's great.
Saves you time, money, and effort.
We say that as two girls who live on our parents' and grandparents' leftovers at home.
But
but eating at home is a big thing.
Huge. But we have we're lucky enough
Proof
to
in
have, parents that cook, grandparents that cook, etc.
If you do take advantage of it, please.
Yes.
For your health's sake and for money's sake.
Yes.
I am actually, and some people may disagree with me with this, but I kind of, actually, no, I would say I flip back and forth. I've got my priorities for my 20s, but I actually think that money saving is a big thing to prioritize as well in your 20s. A lot of people think, let me throw everything out the window when I'm in my 20s, and then, saving comes in your 30s. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but by that time, house prices would have doubled. You'd probably be thinking about having a child, possibly. You might be thinking about buying your first proper car. No, I think that there's a great way to actually balance it. For me, I'm lucky enough where I've been able to, I'm also smart to do this, but I've kind of found a way where I have 2 income streams at the moment. I spend one of them and I save the other completely, and I still manage to travel. On a job, by the way, that gets me roughly $30 an hour. So I'm not making hundreds of millions. We're not getting paid for this podcast.
No.
It's possible. and you're in roughly the same boat.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, it is doable. If you have a spending problem, maybe start with this as your, writing your tracking, putting things into perspective.
Yeah.
Make that a priority for this year if it's something you've wanted to do, because it genuinely is easy to do both.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to start and think about budgeting for sure. You also don't want to get too caught up in it stressing, oh my God, I don't have money, because that's all our generation says. But I think
I find that it frees me from that mindset. I'm like, this money is the money I can spend.
Yeah. But I'm saying, for a lot of people, money is a really, really big
and that's why
deal.
I gave this tip.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't have to be as hard as you make it. It just might need a little bit of control and a couple steps put into place for you to actually get that push in the bum that you need.
Totally.
What else?
You know what? I think we've kind of covered the main sorts of things that we wanted to say. I think, we wanted
this to be more of a mindset reframe. Going into the new year.
And I just want to reiterate again, guys, new year, new me is a load of bullshit. It's a load of bullshit. It can be new day, new you, new moment, new you. Yeah. And I think I try to say that to myself because I'm also one of those people that is like, oh my God, okay, there are 6 months left of the year to achieve what I want to achieve. No, there's no time. Time is of the essence.
I say that.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
But in saying that too, time is of the essence, yes. But we also, am I contradicting myself? Yes. But for 2 different reasons. When it comes to change, you don't know if you'll have the possibility or opportunity to change tomorrow. You don't.
Can I also say take opportunities? Take opportunities. That's something
whatever
me and you are going
are
to do in the new year is just again, because when reflecting on the year before, there's likely going to be a lot of things that you look back on and go, that was unexpected. That wasn't something I thought I'd do at the beginning of the year.
Say yes to things. Say yes to people you don't know.
Within reason.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, never say yes to something that's ever going to put you in some sort of danger or safety compromise. But, like, say yes to things, because the amount of things that I have said yes to this year that have been so out of my comfort zone have led me to such a great place in whatever aspect that may be. But then also there are other things that I've said yes to that have been an absolute flop. So it can absolutely go both ways, but you never know. And also I think this is a big one. Just follow your gut. Go with your gut. Trust your gut. Don't trust your anxiety. Trust your gut. The deep thing that it's trying to, I just banged the microphone again. The deep thing that it's trying to tell you, because I think a lot of us question and re-question certain things that we've done in the past year, but ultimately, like, if you're lost, if you're confused, trust your gut. And I refuse to believe somebody that says, I don't know what my gut's trying to say. No, you always know. I say that too, but at the end of the day, I always know. I always know what's going to be right.
You always know what's right for you. You always know if there's something that you'll regret if you don't take the chance. There's always something that you know, or the opposite, something that you think, I shouldn't be doing this right now. Deep down, you always know.
Yeah.
I agree.
And let's leave it on that note.
Yeah.
We're going to leave you on that note.
Guys.
Have
I
a
don't know if this will come
year.
out just before New Year's or just after New Year's, but it will come out around that time. So if it's been New Year's, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Take our advice.
If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah. And
bye, Losties.
Bye, Losties. Catch us next year or this year.
2026. Oh my goodness.
God. Bye.
Bye.